Good morning. Good morning to you. How are you?
Good.
I'll
Are
bet.
we there yet?
I'll bet you thought I dropped off the end of the earth.
No, I think you've probably been pretty busy with a lot of things going on.
That's an
Yeah, actually,
understatement.
I've been going to bed a little early, so it worked out just fine. I was hoping that you didn't call, so I wouldn't have to not be there.
I did
I'm
try
here
to.
now.
I did try to call last night, and it was after 10 o'clock, so that was okay.
Yeah.
No, we had to deal with some issues here. My mother passed away. Let's see, Tuesday morning at about
Oh,
9:40 a.m. So I've been kind of involved a little bit there. And it's been a
I'm
busy
sure.
week. I sold about everything I have in stock here, and I've got to prepare for a huge motorhome coach that's coming in today. So
Huh.
to add to
You've
my
been busy.
inventory. Yeah, just a little bit. But yeah, exciting things happening. I mean, everybody's on the edge of their seats, not just you,
Well,
Neiman.
I think for a good reason, don't you?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah. Well, I
Apparently,
know it's always that. You have to reserve. We really don't know, but hearing what Trump was tweeting about declassifying and Obamagate, people
yeah.
going to jail, it sounds like
Oh,
he's
yeah.
setting the stage.
Yeah, oh, big time. Yeah, big time. I didn't
Yeah.
get a chance to watch Camellia or whatever it was, the vice president, have their little get together.
I,
How did that work out?
I didn't watch it.
Oh, okay.
I had the opportunity, and I decided vice president stuff. Well, Kamala Harris would have been interesting because I think she's crooked. See how she worms around.
She wormed
I did
around.
read what Mike Pence had to say, which is pretty straightforward. Look at what Donald Trump has done and so on.
Just look at the facts. And she was lying. She lied through her teeth last night. I didn't see it. Oh, it was just I'm looking at some of the commentaries from Hannity and so forth. But
Uh-huh.
anyhow, no
Yeah,
surprise. No surprise there.
right.
Yep.
Right, they're just kind of following the script, the character they've been playing, and
Oh, of
not
course.
much else they can do.
Of course. Of course. So yeah, I
There
think.
was, on Dinar Chronicles, that might be of interest, some talk about Paul Ryan running for president and what happened to him. Why did he get in the way of Trump? And, like he was a global puppet.
Oh yeah, there's no
So,
question about
that's coming
that.
up again.
No question about that. He's on the indictment list. Is he still alive,
Yeah.
or is
Yeah, I think so.
yeah,
Yeah. They're
okay.
talking about him running for president. That's talk.
Yeah, it's talk. Wishful thinking.
These are just people talking. That's all I can say. I
Yeah,
didn't get
yeah,
anything more than
yeah,
that. But yeah, it's
yeah.
just another ball that's dropped off, and it can come back up, and something to consider again along the way.
Yeah, there's some interesting things that Holly put out, and sometime today, if I get a chance, I'll pull it all together and send it out. Um,
Mm-hmm.
just has to do with cashing in some things to remember, put on your checklist when you
Oh,
things to do, things not to do, things not to worry
good.
about, that sort of thing. Kind of,
We
you
need
know,
that near the end.
yeah. And I think she's going to be about as accurate as anybody. To be honest with you, I don't
Mm-hmm.
think there's going to be any question about her integrity and her knowledge of
Yeah,
what's going on.
that's the way I read her, and I like what she had to say about the process. It's all been laid out very simply, and
Yep.
you know,
Yep.
and it's like she's in the know. I appreciate that.
One thing that she,
There is a question about whether Iraq really did revalue to $15. was at around 16, and
Yeah.
then we heard 15 from Bruce.
Bruce, and
But
from
Mark C. said that he's gone over the Gazette, and he doesn't see anything like that.
yeah, TNT. Well, when it's in the Gazette, that's when it happens. So it's not going to
Yeah.
be there yet. The
So
TNT brought
I don't
that
know
up
why we were
too.
getting that.
Well, it's yeah. I don't either. TNT's backed that up though. Same thing, almost identical to what Bruce was saying. I just listened to the first introduction, and then
Yeah.
I send that out, and that's it. Or the end,
Yeah.
where he gives a
Yeah, I'm the
synopsis.
same way with them. Yeah.
Yeah. So, one thing that's interesting is the 7 day or 8 days, the China vacation or holiday or whatever ends today. So the banks will be open. So that was one
Oh.
thing that Holly
Oh, I
said
didn't know that.
they're waiting for. Yeah, it's not really been addressed that much, but
That's important, I think.
yeah. And let's see, there were a number of things that she brought up that was very interesting this morning. Like I said, I'll try to get that out.
Hmm.
Uh,
Yeah, and I kind of agree with what she's saying, that they've got everything processed through Dubai except for the one last thing that says it's done.
yeah,
And
that's exactly
that all
what's
fits
happening.
in with the notion of security, making sure everything gets checked and audited and secure.
Tier 2 is done. It's just waiting for it to be released. So we've been waiting for Tier 2, but the Tier 2 is done and waiting for it to be dropped.
Yeah.
I sent out, just as I dialed you, Dr. Charlie Ward. We haven't been hearing from him. This was recorded yesterday. I think I've only listened to about the first 9 minutes, but other than that, I haven't. I didn't want to wait any longer to give you a call.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah, I noticed there was some entry on one of the in our recaps or chronicles about him with some of his latest, but I hadn't opened it up yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, there's going to be a lot revealed, a lot of shock and all that. And then the Q thing about the 28th and Hillary. I think that's all set up. Oh, and well, Trump is supposed to be coming out with the cure, and the military is going to deliver it and free for everyone. That's what I'm picking up from the Trump trail. So the COVID thing will just go away, and we'll launch ourselves into all the deep state stuff. That's the way it looks like it's shaping up, the way they're talking.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that kind of makes sense why he's had the military take over all this. So he's, I got sick, I got cured. You can have the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'll make it all real presidential, official, and roll it out. Yeah. And the declassification will basically free up General Flynn. That'll be all smoking gun stuff. And then he can start talking.
Yeah, that's just a second. They're mowing my lawn, so I'm going to close my door here just a second.
Sure.
I have 2 lawnmowers out there. My neighbor's doing his too. It's not that close, but it's a lot better with the door closed. Anyhow, where were you? Oh, Flynn?
About Flynn.
Yep.
And the redaction, declassification, freeing him up. I guess maybe next week.
Well, I thought that could be today or tomorrow. That's what
Could be.
somebody said.
I understand that. I've heard that. We could be waiting for tomorrow for, the declassification. I don't think Trump's going to wait 5 days. When he starts talking about it, it's boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like Q has said, we have it all. We have it
Yeah.
all, and that's
Just a matter of how you want to present it.
yeah.
When.
Let them squirm, and and I think another reason too, just kind of
Mm-hmm.
drip, 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 is that they're going to get careless and expose more of themselves. So it's not going to be somebody else telling them, exposing. They're going to be exposing themselves, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, trying to protect themselves.
Yes, yes. And so it'll be, and this is, I think, part of the plan too, so that we got to get the majority of the voters, the American people, to see what we've seen for years. And
Right.
it'll make it a
Right.
lot easier. There'll be less bloodshed as we go forward. That's my take on it.
Yeah, I agree, and I like your idea that people will be more public about exposing the other people to protect themselves,
Mm-hmm.
and that's another line of truth coming out. You could say. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll see if that rolls out that way. I don't see why it wouldn't. There's got to be some people that will yell and scream.
Oh, there's always
Freedom.
going to be those. I mean, there's no getting away from that. You're not going to get anybody 100%. And those that don't probably go out and kill themselves, probably.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
they can't
Well,
stand the truth.
Hear about it or rumor about it. Mm-hmm. Well, it's ripping the Band-Aid off very slowly.
and it's not even healed.
No.
Just a second. I got another door to close.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, yeah, I think we've kind of touched on most of the points that have been coming up here the last few days, and we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah.
We keep hearing, the next couple of days. Now we're hearing through Friday.
Yeah.
And Friday, seems to fit in with what you're saying about China and their
Yep.
holiday ending.
Well, Tony was pretty secure in saying this weekend.
Okay.
It's going to be a memorable weekend. So.
Well, and that could be when they do drop things in the Gazette tomorrow or Saturday.
Yeah.
And, that's the thing I was thinking of, since they were saying it really hadn't happened. Mark Z was saying no confirmation on that. Can't find it. But, and then the talk was, then we go into the weekend and, deal with all this stuff, the weekend news cycle. There's also talk about the government YouTube type channel.
Yeah.
You heard that?
No, something about it, but I didn't pay much attention.
I'm not going to say that that's really happening or anything close to that, but I heard that suggestion anyway. And the government came out with a quantum technological website.
Yes, now that I think is huge. That basically is, I think, the framework for the new internet. Everything quantum.
Oh, okay.
That's the first thing that came in my mind. Now, I don't know that for a fact, but it just sounds, the QFS, the quantum computers, the quantum internet, the quantum this, quantum that. It's going to be something, and at the same time, the platforms, Facebook, all of that. And we've been told, back up whatever you got if it's valuable, because it's not coming back.
Oh, good. Good to hear that. As you were saying that about the quantum with the internet. The other guys are going to go away, and the truthers are going to come out.
Yes. So there'll
We'll
be
able to talk about QAnon in public.
See, it's got out of hand. I mean, from everything from wanting to kill the president and putting things out like that, putting things into the nefarious people's minds because there are crazies out there that will do anything to kill anybody. It doesn't matter who they are,
Good
just
point.
because somebody
Good
gave
point.
them permission to.
Someone mentioned the other day that someone was talking about Lincoln when he died and when he was laid out, and people are saying, well, it sounds like someone's trying to get people to do something with Trump,
Yeah, yeah,
kind of a threat.
yeah. And
And like you say, there are crazy people who will act out, and that could very well be what they're trying to do.
yeah, yeah,
Some of these people are basically been programmed already, let's say, to do all kinds of stuff when they get the right trigger.
Did you see in the news where they had uncovered surface-to-air missiles that would be capable to take down any aircraft, and said that it was they felt confident that it was brought in to take down Air Force One. It was found in Florida, which would be the logical place for it to go. It came from some country or some, I don't know where it came from. They didn't really say, but that's the number one. Their shipping has been kind of loose, things coming into this country, and they're tightening up on that. You probably saw the ship that it was the Clinton Foundation ship. I didn't know they had such a thing, but they uncovered how many hundreds of people, children, and yeah,
Yeah, I think I did hear that.
that was
Right.
just
There's so much going on.
just in the last 2 or 3 weeks. Of course, not in the mainstream media, of course,
Yeah.
but all of these things are going to be uncovered, and it's going to. I mean, just what we know, it makes my head spin. I mean, it's like.
Oh yeah, just trying to keep up with it and keep it together, all the pieces, how they all kind of fit together. And it's moving in time because there's activity that continues to roll out, in different directions.
Oh,
Good, bad.
it's all over the place. I mean, it's just here, there, and everywhere, and it's something else. Well, I'm gonna have to call it short here because I got to get ready for my 1 o'clock appointment. It's going to take some things to do.
Well, I'm sorry about your mother passing away, but I imagine she had quite a few years, and
Yeah, she was
there were
91.
very good ones.
It was time. I'll tell you, I would hate to have gone through very many more weeks and months with her the way she was, and she was deteriorating extremely fast. But the good thing is that we spent some very quality time with her. Every week, every Saturday afternoon, we took her for a 3-hour drive, and I sat her up front where she could. I have a Lexus SUV that sits up a little higher than a car. It's easy for her to get in, and I put the seat up high so she could have good visibility because she was crouched over pretty bad. She has osteoporosis, and she was praying that she would die. My wife, because she's retired, has a lot more time than I do, and to be honest with you, she's a very negative person. Anyhow, it's been that way all her life. So I just distance myself from her, but at the same time, respect her and give her love. Let her know I love her, and by doing nice things and then keep it limited. That's pretty much what a person should do, rather than to vomit all over her and cuss and swear or whatever you do.
Oh yeah, well that sounds like you handled it very well. You just sized up the problem and did the best you could.
But my wife is very, very good with dealing with people like that, and so they became very, very close, which was good. And my daughter found her and on her morning visit to make sure, because she's a doctor, a PT, very knowledgeable on the medical side of things, and unfortunately, she was there, and I was there shortly after. So I actually did see her alive, but she was unconscious. But no, it's when they came and said, "Do you have a TR something or other?" In other words, it's like a living will. Don't do any heroic measures. They had to have several people, including the doctor, sign off on it, and they because she didn't have the form readily available that they could look at, which everybody should have once they reach 90. If they're still going strong, should be on the refrigerator door so that, everybody knows what to do.
Yeah.
Because the EMTs, otherwise, if they don't have it or have a number of people confirm, they will try to resuscitate. And in her case, with her,
that's really against what they really want. So.
Yeah, it's their osteoporosis. She was so weak. Her bones are so brittle. It would have been a nightmare. And so, it's amazing how I had a sense of peace come about me, knowing not only for herself, because this is what she wanted, but for the whole family because it wasn't so much my other siblings that live a distance from here, but it was for those of us that have to see her on a daily basis. But
it takes something out of you when you're dealing with something that's not growing but dying.
Yeah.
Well, they're lucky to have a family like yours. It's kind of a multi-generational connection.
Yeah.
I've been reading recently about in some communities, in other states, where there are a certain percentage, I don't know, is it 5%, 8% of the people over 65 are living alone.
Yeah. Oh, boy, Lord forbid. That I really feel for those people. I really feel for those people.
They might have family in the area, I don't know, but, that general proposition does not sound healthy to me. I thought, well, maybe with some of the things I want to do, I can, make a difference there.
Yep.
Try to.
Yep.
And, so the I was thinking of the Waltons, and the Depression, that TV series.
Yep.
People of my grandmother's generation who used to watch that program and said, oh, yeah, we were all together. 3 generations, 4 generations under one roof, looking out for one another. And that's that's really the healthiest way of living if we can.
One thing that was
so your mother is lucky to have that on both sides of family.
Our last Sabbath, we had from about 2:33 until about 7, which was really the longest anybody, because it gets dark and cold about that time. But everybody was here. My son was here, all my grandkids, and we had a lovely meal. And so it was a good time to get together, and everybody seemed to enjoy what was happening. But nobody, of course, knew that, within 72 hours she would be gone. If we'd have known that, we'd have taken a lot more pictures and so forth. But, sometimes it's best that we not know.
Well, that's very interesting, the dynamics, that you experience. And, it enriches your life, really, in a certain way.
Yep, that's right.
Okay, well, thanks for sharing that with me about your mother. I'm interested.
Yeah, it's all good. Anyhow, I'm going to get over and watch the rest of Charlie Ward. I think I'll go get my mom's dog, though, first, because she is crying, and she really is close to me and my wife, so I think I'll do that, and then I'll get back to Charlie Ward and get ready for my 1 o'clock appointment.
All right, well, thanks for calling.
Yep, and
nice chat.
We'll maybe chat tonight after the Bruce call.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, talk to you later.
All right.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.